And what's up, everybody? This is Terminator Juice, and I'm gonna do a little solo live stream here, kind of a last-minute deal. It was just had some time. My Detroit Lions don't play till later today, so I thought this would be a good time to do this video I wanted to do, and it's gonna be basically a recap of the Blu-ray movies that released in 2014. Not necessarily movies that released in 2014, but if the Blu-ray came out in 2014, I'm going to be talking about it. I'm going to show you guys which movies I have, and that's the ones I'll be talking about. If I didn't buy the movie or see it on Blu-ray, obviously I'm not going to talk about it. So there might be movies out there that are better than the ones I'm talking about as far as the Blu-ray presentation, but since I didn't experience them, I'm not going to be talking about them. So first I'm going to just show you all the ones that I purchased that were released this year, and then talk a little bit about each one. And then I'm going to pick, best audio presentation, best video presentation, animation, and then I'll do one for live action, and then my top 3 Blu-rays of the year. So you guys know I'm a movies, buff. I got a theater room, and I'm just all about, collecting movies and stuff. So I've been sharing pictures on Google Plus, picking up movies here and there. I also bought a bunch of older movies this year, but since they didn't release in 2014, I'm not going to talk about them. So first, I'm just going to go through and show you which movies I got. I'll do it in alphabetical order, and then we'll talk about them after that. Or actually, I'll just quickly talk about each one as I go here. So the first one, Bayonetta, Bloody Fate. Japanese style animated movie based on the first game, Bayonetta, the storyline. Really cool. I like the artist. I forget. I think it's the same people that did Samurai, Afro Samurai, I believe it was. A really cool style, and really just a good Blu-ray. It wasn't the best story, but it was cool. And if you like Bayonetta, you'd like that. Good overall presentation. So next up, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, one of my favorite movies this year. The Blu-ray release came out, I think, this early fall, I believe. 7.1 surround, got good sound, got good video, and it's a good movie. Overall, a great Blu-ray. Next up, we have my favorite movie of the year, Edge of Tomorrow, even though it only says it like right here. Great movie. I love science fiction, and this movie was fantastic, and the Blu-ray excels in audio and video. I mean, it's just a quality purchase. I don't want to say any more just yet. We'll talk more about it later on. Next up, Godzilla, one of my more disappointed movies. I've only watched it once. I have yet to watch it all the way through. Now that I have it on Blu-ray, I got it on sale for $8 on Black Friday. So the movie was okay the first time I saw it in the theater, but the sound quality is amazing, and the picture quality is really nice. So I watched parts of the beginning and parts of the end, and I'm feeling like maybe I'll like this movie more once I watch it all the way through, beginning to end. So excellent Blu-ray though. Next we have Gravity. I got the 3D. I got a 3D TV earlier this year in February, and amazing. This movie is a must-watch in 3D. I have trouble watching the 2D version now. We'll talk more about that. Next up, The Hobbit: Desolation of Smaug 3D Blu-ray. Decent movie. I liked it better than the first Hobbit, and good presentation. The 3D didn't really blow me away, but I'm also going to talk about the 3D, my favorite 3D movies of the year at the end. Next up, we got How to Train Your Dragon 2. Excellent movie, one of the best sequels, and my camera just went crazy. One of the best sequels of animated movie I've ever seen. Great movie. Presentation wise, it was fantastic, and of course my camera's not gonna refocus. Next up, The Hunger Games: Catching Fire. Got this cool limited edition steelbook. It was a decent movie. Didn't live up to the hype, and I got caught up in it, but it was okay. And Jennifer Lawrence I think she's a really good actress, and she's probably the most attractive actress out there, so I picked it up. Next up, Legend of Korra Book 3, Spirit or Change. If you guys watch my Legend of Korra review series, big fan of the series, and you know, this, it's good to have them on Blu-ray, but there's an issue that I'll talk about later on with the picture of, and it's unfortunate because it could have been my favorite Blu-ray of the year, but there's some limitations on the picture side of it. Next up, we got the Lego Movie. Never saw it in the theater. Bought it. This, I thought I had the 3D version, but I guess I don't. I was disappointed by the movie. I listened to everyone's reviews and thought it was amazing, so I bought it, and I wasn't that impressed. The picture quality, it looks like real Legos. I actually thought it was stop motion animation using real Legos, but it's all CG, and it's, you know, audio and video presentation's top notch, but it wasn't my favorite movie. Next up, an older movie, but it just came out on Blu-ray, Princess Mononoke. It's a full restoration, and really looks nice on Blu-ray. And then last but not least, X-Men Days of Future Past. Great movie and a good Blu-ray. So, all right. Now I'm going to go through, first of all, out of the 3D movies I've seen more than these, but these are the ones I own. Gravity, like I said, you have to watch that movie in 3D. Like, that is a reason to own a 3D TV. Like, that movie justified having a 3D TV to me. I didn't buy a TV just to have 3D. I just bought the best Sony I could buy, and it happened to be a 3D capable TV. It's an active shutter, which means you have to have the battery operated glasses, and you get full 1080p, but it doesn't have quite the depth of a passive 3D, which is only like in 540p resolution. So anyway, I'm going to go through and let's pick best audio in a DV or in a Blu-ray. For me personally, I have a 7.1 surround sound setup, theater room with subwoofer, so I'm all about the sound. So it was a tough choice, and I'm just gonna kind of name some that stood out to me: How to Train Your Dragon 2, Godzilla, Edge of Tomorrow, Captain America, and Desolation of Smog all stood out and were fantastic on the audio side. But there's going to be a winner, and it was pretty easy choice when I was watching the first half hour. It's just like leaps and bounds ahead of, you know, anything else I've heard this year, and that's this movie right here, Godzilla. 7.1. I think it's DTS HD Master Audio. Basically what that means, very much uncompressed audio, and it's fantastic. Like, the back channel is used very effectively. The bass is amazing. Like, it's almost too much bass. So blown away. The sound is just epic. I watched the final scene with Godzilla and those two other creatures. I forget what they called them in the movie. Just amazing. So you know, a lot of great sounding movies this year, but Godzilla stands as the best. So next I'm going to pick best picture quality, and I'm going to break it down into the animated films. And obviously you got the Lego Movie, you got How to Train Your Dragon 2, you know, Legend of Korra, and Bayonetta. But this one was tough for me because, you know, you got amazing CG work and animation. Then you also have a classic hand-drawn movie like Princess Mononoke, which they completely did that movie justice on Blu-ray. It looks fantastic. There's shots in that you would swear somebody just drew and they did it in HD to start with. Like it looks amazing. But if I had to pick one, just straight up best looking movie, it's a toss up, but I gotta put my bias aside, and I gotta give it to the Lego Movie. The use of color in this movie is unbelievable. And like I said, it looks like actual Legos being shot in like stop motion animation. Like they created, I didn't know it was CG when I watched the special features. I'm like, man, they did all that work with those Legos, and it was all done in a computer, and it looks just like photorealistic little Lego characters with little imperfections in the plastic and everything. And some of the just most colorful scenes in a movie I've seen this year. It's fantastic. I just wish the movie was better. Runner up would be How to Train Your Dragon 2. This, you know, they were going for, I don't want to say realism, but they add so many little realistic touches, like the way the hair moves and fabric moves and grass and all that. The animation of the dragons, like they make you, or they remind you of real animals like cats and other animals in the real world. So it is honestly the best actual animation I've seen all year. But as far as like just straight up just judging the picture quality, I give it to Lego Movie. But the best animation, How to Train Your Dragon 2, just raised the bar. Pixar needs to step up their game. Their movies have been crap lately anyway, but How to Train Your Dragon 2 definitely had the best animation, best detail. But I got to give it to the Lego Movie a slight edge, just an overall. And I want to say Princess Mononoke is best hand-drawn animation I've ever seen on Blu-ray. It looks fantastic. And when I was talking about Legend of Korra, I do want to say why the problems this movie or this season has, and I guess it was apparent on the last season too as well. They crammed 7 episodes in one disc and 8 episodes in another. And there's this thing called banding, and that's when objects move. Like, let's say my hand's moving here, and from here to here, you'll see like gray, and depending on what color the objects are, you'll see actual vertical lines. They call it banding, and as something moves, you just see these lines moving with it. And then it's really distracting. Like I think it was the 6th or 7th episode, the beginning, when it shows, like the 4 avatars, water, air, fire, earth. The very first one, there's a rock flying and you see these vertical lines moving. It looks very distracting. I thought it was glitching out, but it's actually just something that happens with when they compress and try to fit too much information on one disc. And it's a real shame because the still shots, the colors of this are just amazing. Like I said, if it didn't have those technical issues, this would have been the winner for best picture quality, because it's some of the most amazing HD like animation, hand drawn, with some digital 3D like environments and vehicles and stuff. It's just a shame that they wrecked it, and because like I said, any still shot looks just fabulous. So on the technical side, it really fell short there. So next I'm gonna do best picture quality in a live action movie, and it's tough because there's so much CG in a couple of these movies that it's almost unfair to call them live action, especially Gravity, where 95% of the movie is done with CG work, but it's so realistic looking that I gotta count it. The only thing, and I got a bunch of questions here I'll get to at the end. The faces were done, and a lot of motion cap and stuff was done. So it's hard to, like I said, it's hard to give the Gravity in a live action, but my 3 nominations are actually 4 are Godzilla, Captain America, Edge of Tomorrow, and Gravity for best picture quality. And it's really close. It's hard to pick one. And you also have to factor in the actual artistic style that they went with, like The Hobbit. There's like this, just the subdued overall, like yellowish, orangish tone to everything, and it kind of takes away from the overall. Like my eyes don't like what I'm seeing, even though the digital production's really well done and it's accurate to what the movie was trying to do. It's not as pleasing to my eyes as to some people. So I'm gonna give it to Gravity for best picture quality. And like I said, that's kind of an asterisk because 95% of that movie is CG, but it's so realistic looking that there's times where I wasn't sure if everything was CG. It wasn't until I watched the special features in the making of that I found out that almost everything you see in this movie is computer generated, and that when that space station gets ripped to shreds, it looks so photorealistic. And like I said, the 3D is so amazing that it's believable. And you know, so I'm gonna give that this best overall picture quality, and it hasn't been topped. I've never seen a better quality image on Blu-ray, especially on my Sony 3D TV. It looks fantastic. But I do want to give Edge of Tomorrow the runner-up. Just really clean. I like the color palette. It's gritty, but it's just really sharp. There's not any flaws whatsoever. Everything about that movie looks great, and I give that the runner-up. So yeah, that was fantastic. If you have a nice 1080p TV, you can't go wrong with any of these movies. The animated movies look great, but if you really want to show people what your TV is capable of, or you want to find out the limits or the capabilities of your TV, and you don't have Gravity, even if you didn't like the movie, you should do yourself a favor. Look for it on sale sometime and buy it, and it will show you just how great HD 1080p can look. I'd love to see that movie in native 4K someday. I think that would be amazing. So yeah, so that's it for that. And now I'm gonna pick my top 3 Blu-rays of the year 2014, and it's a tough choice because as much as I love just amazing sound and audio, I definitely factored in if the movie was any good or not. So I got 2 for sure. I'm still decided on my number 3, and it's a really tough choice, but man, I had my 3 pick, but I kind of talked myself out of it. All right, I'm gonna take bias out of it, and I'm just gonna give you overall best Blu-ray based on the audio, video, the movie itself, and some special features will actually factored in. So number 3 for me, I got to give it to Gravity. With honorable mention to Princess Mononoke. That's a fantastic Blu-ray, and they really did the source material justice. But I'm gonna go with 3 to Gravity because of the amazing picture quality, the amazing 3D. It doesn't have a lot of sound effects. It uses music in place of sound effects because in space you don't hear anything. So it was a real clever way they use music, and the changing in music to like as an explosion, they just have the music get really loud, and it was really clever, and it was actually an entertaining movie. It's one of those experiences. It's not really a story that's that big a deal. It's the experience that's really what drives this movie. So yeah, because of all those things and a really cool making of, and the director seems to be very passionate. They had it's a really great Blu-ray, and if you have a 3D TV, it's a no-brainer. If you don't have this movie and you have a 3D TV, like I said earlier, if you have a HD TV, definitely, but if you have a 3D TV and you don't have Gravity 3D, you're doing 3D wrong, because that's amazing. So number 2 for me, Blu-ray of the year, one of my favorite movies of the year, How to Train Your Dragon 2. Like I said, the best animation I've ever seen in a CG animated movie. The sound is amazing. The story is great. It's not your typical kids movie. And the only thing I don't like is some of the dragon designs, but the main one, Hiccup, and or Toothless, I mean, the Night Fury looks amazing. And there's some really funny stuff on your second watch through, third watch through, pay attention to the dragons in the background when Hiccup's drawing a map and his girlfriend Astrid lands, and they're talking, and in the background these 2 dragons are like chasing each other and playing, and it's really funny. Actually, I didn't notice it the first time, but on the second watch time I watched it, I noticed it, and it's really funny. So next we're gonna get to my number one favorite Blu-ray of the year. It's also my favorite movie of the year. Has excellent audio, has excellent video, and that's Edge of Tomorrow. So I didn't know if I was gonna like this movie. By the previews, it looked entertaining. I love Emily Blunt. Tom Cruise has almost always done a great job. I think he's a great actor. He's a great action actor, and he does a lot of his own stunts, and he's very passionate and involved in the movies that he makes. He's like the hardest working guy. I forget if he's in his 50s, I believe, and he was running circles around these 20-year-olds when they're doing like their mini boot camp and stuff. Very good special features. The making of is very entertaining. Bill Paxton, I give him a shout out. He was hilarious. He stays in his character of his drill sergeant. Even when they're like in between takes, he must just like to stay in character. And there's a really funny moment when they're, if you guys watch the movie on the drop ships, they're in their suits, they're hanging, and they actually did that physically. They had a big set that moved and stuff. I forget what they call it, on a gimbal or something. They're all hanging, and they were filming for hours and hours at a time. And people had to go to the bathroom and stuff. And Bill Paxton, he's staying in character. The camera turns off, and he's like, you know, let's hurry it up, people. It's like a Southern accent. He's like, I got turd touching cotton over here, and everyone's just laughing. And it's just a real funny moment, and it was a great making of documentary on the movie. My favorite movie, like I said, the science fiction is really clever. Best, most original aliens we've seen in years, and just a great audio and video presentation. It's just great across the board. I really have nothing negative to say about it. So overall, it was a pretty stellar year for someone like me that likes to buy movies on Blu-ray. And yeah, I'm very happy. And like I said in the beginning, there's some movies I didn't get, like Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm sure had great, you know, sound and video. Transformers, I'll never watch that movie. Age of Extinction, I'm sure was top notch. 3D sound, video, I'm sure it was all top notch, but I don't care about that movie. Ninja Turtles, don't care. I'm sure that had good stuff too. And there's some other ones that I haven't gotten yet. But yeah, that's it for that. I'll get to the questions now, and then we'll wrap this up. All right, Grayson, you got to go on Amazon if you want to get Korra season 3. That's where I got it. It was $20 for the whole season. He's said it was sold out wherever he goes, but I just pre-ordered it on Amazon. It's still available. And Grayson Young asked, what movies are you most excited for in 2015? His are Avengers, Star Wars, and Ant-Man. Could care less about Avengers. I thought that was one of the most overrated movies ever. It was okay. I thought Captain America blew it out of the water, and Guardians of the Galaxy was better. So for me in 2015, Jurassic World, huge Jurassic Park fan as a kid. That's what got me into surround sound and a home theater. Looking forward to that. Star Wars, I'm skeptical on, but J.J. Abrams is pretty good. Other than that, I haven't really paid attention to what else is coming in 2015. I gotta say, I haven't looked that far ahead. Avengers, I don't know. I just feel like I just don't like that much going on, and I didn't care for the original. So Robson Woodhouse says hi. What's up, man? Top 10 DVDs. I won't do top 10, but I'll give you a couple of the best ones that on DVD that I don't have on Blu-ray would be The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, probably the best DVD, the extended edition. If you're going to buy one DVD, that's the one I would recommend. The sound is just freaking amazing. For the time, the picture quality was great, and it's just got so many hours of special features. It's just amazing. Other than that, DVD-wise, it's been so long. A Fight Club was really good. Sound was amazing. And yeah, it's been so long since I've thought about DVDs. I don't know what else to say. Jurassic Park 3, the DVD, the sound quality was great. Someday I'd like to get the Blu-ray. My thoughts on Finding Dory. Is that a sequel to Finding Nemo? I don't know. Like I said earlier, Pixar's pretty much fallen off their game. I don't think they make good movies anymore. So, and then I got something here. I think that's in German or Russian. I don't have a translate button on this, so I'd like to answer that, but I can't. So, and what animated movies would I want to see sequels for? Usually, animated movie sequels suck. So, I know they're making a Dragon 3. It was a trilogy that they planned. So I'm really looking forward to that. That'll probably be 3-4 years from now, because that's how much, because DreamWorks puts enough time into their movies. I don't really care. I know they're making a Lego movie, Batman one. Don't care. I don't know. I think I like movies that are just done, and you don't need to make a sequel to every movie. So, you know, I don't really look for sequels. I'd rather see the people that made Kung Fu Panda like try something new, because Kung Fu Panda I thought was pretty dumb compared to the original. And I know they're making a third one, but yeah, I'm not a sequel guy. Mostly I like when someone comes out with something original, even though it uses ideas in other movies. It just doesn't always have to be sequels. I mean, most of the stuff here, most of these movies here that I've shown you aren't sequels. You know, I didn't think The Hobbit needed to be 3 movies. That only needed to be 2. It was really drawn out, and I guess, you know, some of them are sequels. The Hunger Games, Captain America, The Hobbit, How to Train Your Dragon. So half of them are sequels, the other half aren't. But it's just not. I'm not a big sequel guy, you know, unless it really left something unanswered and there's really something they can build upon. One of my favorite movies growing up, you know, I was a teenager, but The Matrix. And then they make 2 movies that are absolutely terrible and stupid and just ruin the whole story. It almost makes The Matrix not as cool now because the sequels ruined it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this. I didn't really plan on this being very long. So if you're into movies, into Blu-rays, you know, hopefully you got something out of this. Did you agree or disagree with me? Leave it in the comments below once this uploads to YouTube. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. And I'll just check the Q&A one last time, make sure there's nothing new. Nope, we're good to go. So thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for the questions. And like I said, leave some comments. What did you think? What were your favorite Blu-rays of the year? And you know, something I didn't get this year that I should have. I saw Guardians of the Galaxy on DVD. I didn't see it on Blu-ray. And there's really nothing else that I think I need to see. Maybe Maleficent, even though that came out on Blu-ray this year, but it came out last year. That's the only other movie that maybe I'll watch. But anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great day. And we'll see you in the next video, which will be the Juice is Loose episode 29. We'll be talking about the games of 2015, and look forward to that. So with that, I'm going to say see ya.